everybody, this is Blake here, and I just noticed I left my closet open a bit, so I apologize. I'm going to have to cancel this video. I just can't produce quality material when I have my closet open in the background. It's just very distracting. That comedic bit was brought to you because Dumb and Dumber 2 provided me with very little to say. So it's been years and years since I've seen the first Dumb and Dumber. In fact, it's probably been since the 90s. I mean, I may have, caught a couple minutes on the TV here and there, but otherwise, I can't really say whether it holds up or not. I'm very reluctant to go back and check out a lot of Jim Carrey's 90s comedies because I loved them as a kid. He was one of my favorite actors. I just thought he was hilarious. But I saw Cable Guy not too long ago, and it didn't hold up very well. So I'm kind of afraid to go revisit his, the films that really made him famous, because I'm not sure whether I'm going to think they're just too 90s in retrospect for my current, more sophisticated tastes. But still, based on memory, I remember really liking it. In fact, it probably does say something to its credit in that I remember so many of the gags. Yeah, they're kind of stupid, like the whole bit where he gets his tongue stuck on the pole. But still, they've stayed with me over the years, so I have to presume it's a good movie. Either that or I'm only remembering the good parts and my mind is just forcing the bad moments just out of my memory, so I could overcome that trauma. Believe it or not, that happens to me quite a bit. I do remember disliking the prequel, though. Then again, the only thing I really remember about the prequel is that I disliked it, and that it starred the guy from Not Another Teen Movie. So when I saw the trailer for Dumb and Dumber 2, I was actually really surprised, because I had heard that Jim Carrey had wanted to make it shortly after doing that Magician one with Steve Carell, but was apparently rejected. And wow, that just says something about how far your career has fallen when they won't let you make a sequel to one of your biggest hits. But then I heard nothing about it again until I saw the trailer. It came out of nowhere, and I remember having mixed feelings about it, because on one hand, I did think that it looked pretty funny. On the other hand, it looked very, very 90s-ish. Like it was made in the late 90s, but then they just never released it until now. So I wasn't really sure that style of humor would still work, just because, comedic trends have changed since then, and it was just a question of, will it get old quickly or not? And then the reviews came in, and for the most part, Dumb and Dumber 2 was pretty critically panned, and I began to wonder if all the funny parts were in the trailers. But then I saw the movie, and I liked it. It's nothing spectacular. In fact, I'm probably going to forget I even saw it a few weeks from now. But it consistently made me laugh from beginning to end. Yes, is it really stupid and noisy at parts? Of course. But the first film was the exact same way. But it did often make me laugh, and even when it was being annoying, it was being annoying in a kind of endearing sort of way, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I have literally like 4 notes that I wrote down, because once again, what can I say beyond it made me laugh? If you liked the first Dumb and Dumber, you should like this one. It's pretty much the exact same kind of movie, the exact same style of humor. In fact, they more or less just recycle the exact same structure and the same jokes. There's a lot of callback bits here and there, like they meet the kid who they sold the dead bird to, and this time, it's a similar sort of gag, but it's nowhere near as clever or memorable, but still it made me laugh. I mean, it's constantly doing things to remind us of the first film. There's just a lot of variations, so it doesn't feel totally lazy. So for example, there's this segment where they have to travel with the bad guy, or one of the bad guys, who's trying to kill them, but they don't know, and of course his plans totally backfire. It's not the same as what the first film did, but it's a similar kind of joke, but still it wasn't poorly executed, and that's really what matters. There's all my notes. I could say that it was nice seeing these actors back in these roles, and they wear these characters so comfortably that you wouldn't think that they've gone on to do to have a very serious movie careers since then. They were just they acted just the same way as they did in the first film, and they have really good chemistry. I always enjoy seeing Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey interact, and I like the fact that they do have very different characterizations. Jeff Daniels doesn't seem quite as stupid as Jim Carrey is, but at the same time he's more, I don't want to say naive, but Jim Carrey's character is such a bad influence that he goes ahead and accepts pretty much everything that character says, as dumb and wrong as it is. But still, it's an interesting dynamic. And the new characters, I still thought the first film had a more memorable cast, but yeah, these characters were fine too. They play off Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels very well, and vice versa. The plot wasn't as good as the first one. Once again, based on memory, it seemed like, I don't know, I was kind of underwhelmed by the storyline, but it doesn't really matter too much as long as the gags carry the film, and it's the exact same style of humor as the first film, so expect a lot of physical comedy, a lot of goofy mugging, humor that's directed in regards to characters reacting to these guys' stupidity, and of course us reacting to their stupidity. They bathe in toxic waste at one point. So that's really all I have to say. If you liked the humor of the first film, you'll probably like this one, but it's just not as good. If the first film is a great comedy, and I feel very reluctant saying that, then this one is merely a good comedy, or at least a pretty good comedy. And I only feel the first one is better in that I think it continues to stay with me. I don't think Dumb and Dumber 2 will stay with me for very long. But still, if you liked Dumb and Dumber, go ahead and check out Dumb and Dumber 2. End of review. So that is all I've got. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I have done written reviews of Zombie by Lucio Fulci. It's a complete re-review. I'm pretty proud of that. A Good Man, which is a Steven Seagal movie, and that's going to be amazing. Because Steven Seagal only produces high-quality films. Kamui, which is a Japanese movie based off a popular manga. And then Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, the producer's cut. The one that has only really been officially released earlier this year, or just actually a couple months ago. And then below that I have my Lone Wolf and Cub Sword of Vengeance re-review, so please read all of those. Bye.